It's pretty good. I recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm probably gonna end up watching it then.
And I mean, it's a masterclass. Masterclass. I'm a douchebag. Welcome to A Cast with No Name. We're your hosts. I'm Jay.
And I'm Matt.
This is episode 37. This episode, we will be discussing our top 5 movies and TV shows of 2022. But first, don't forget to visit our website, acastwithnoname.com, where you can comment on episodes, write to our email, all the blah, 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 find all of our past episodes, and all that nonsense. So we are wrapping up 2022.
Yep, what an eventful year.
Yes. It's just so much crap.
So much content.
I feel like half the stuff came out in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I just...
Typically that happens.
Haven't had... Yeah, I know. They're all trying to bait those.
Yep. The Oscar bait.
Yeah. The master baits of Oscars.
That no one's going to watch.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Or a couple of the ones like The Whale. Of course, I guess that came out in November. And it's just...
Yeah. Just select theaters or whatever.
Yeah. But...
I'll get around to watching that eventually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Did you hear they're doing the Golden Globes again this year? Even though they didn't do it last year?
They didn't do the Golden Globes last year?
No, there was some, I guess the Hollywood Foreign Press Association was, there was some controversy that they were, I don't know, rigging it, and or there was some extracurricular activities that they didn't approve of in terms of how they treated women.
Oh.
Shocker.
Huh.
Shocker.
You mean the movie industry isn't tip top as far as morale and
exactly.
or moral standing?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's hopefully they'll get Ricky Gervais to.
They didn't. They have Jared Carmichael hosting.
Who's that?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
I'm legitimately asking. I don't know.
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he won't be as funny.
He's not
as,
Ricky Gervais. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have him do it every year.
Yeah.
Just to shit on him.
I don't think any of the celebrities would show up.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, but it was tough making this list because there wasn't a lot of stuff that just kind of popped out that there's one, of course, but then the rest of it was
it was
kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few things that I enjoyed, and I guess we can just kind of hop into the criteria. I mean, for me, I tried to pick things that I had to look at my list again.
Forgot.
I tried to pick things that anyone can kind of hop in to and enjoy. Mm-hmm. There's some things like Cobra Kai that came out that I binged immediately, and I was just happy as a pig in shit watching it.
Oh, yeah.
And vegged out for 6 hours or however long it took me. And I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of the things I enjoyed the most, but it's not on my top 5 because unless you're a Cobra Kai fan or a Karate Kid fan, I don't think you're going to be able to get that same enjoyment. And it was more of just being a fan of the property and the IP as opposed to it technically being good, I guess. So I tried to pick things that were well done, but also anyone could really just kind of jump into. There's no knowledge or prerequisite knowledge that you would need to be able to enjoy it at the level that I guess I did, maybe.
Right.
But
yeah, I got what you're saying.
So I tried to pick something that's more, I guess, accessible.
Universal.
Yeah, universal.
Yeah.
I didn't go into the art house scene, and I just kept it to things that I obviously watched.
Yeah, me too.
There's one on my list that I kind of bent the rules for, but it also had to come out this year. And so I didn't do like Stranger Things season 4 or something like that. Right. So it was more of just things that I saw that I thought were good, but it's not going to be the art house stuff like Happening and Tar and things like that, just because I haven't gotten around to watching them. And when I read the synopsis of those movies, it sounds so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Like when I have 2 hours, I don't want to be sad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I watched, oh God, it was called The Wonder, I think, with Florence Pugh on Netflix. Yeah, The Wonder. And it looked great. but it was tailored for like it was like an art house movie, where it felt like it was punching you in the face with, hey, look how artsy this is, and look at the dialogue. It's so just sluggish pace, and yeah. I mean, it was good, but I mean, I'm not gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
and that was part of my criteria. Like, I wanted, these are movies that either, actually they're very entertaining, and I would watch them again, or some of them were like, I kind of want to watch that again right now, or I could watch this again like next week, or something.
I would say rewatchability would have to definitely played a factor.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these things I don't know if I will ever watch again, but it was it was entertaining, or it offered something different from the norm that you typically kind of see. But yeah, so that was, I mean, it wasn't very, to be honest, and just to set up this episode, my top 5 is just not good.
Yeah.
It's like
high praise.
Yes. So if you want mediocrity, you've come to the right place.
To the right place, baby. Yeah, I knew what my number 1 was going to be, but then like 2 through 5, I mean, they could be interchangeable.
Interchanged with everything, and yep. So, but we'll talk about our top 5, then we'll get into some honorable mentions. And it's frustrating because I also made a list of things that I wanted to see that I have yet to see.
I did the same thing.
Because I'm like, well, I mean, there's RRR, which I wanted to see. Haven't gotten around to. Unbearable Weight.
I put that on there too.
With Nicolas Cage, I haven't gotten around to. Wednesday, I haven't gotten around to. I'll probably end up watching it this week. The Whale, The Fabelmans, 1883. So there's quite a few things that
I really want to see The Menu. I've heard really good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously still in theaters. Haven't seen it yet. I heard it's great.
I'm halfway through The Glass Onion.
Saw that. Yeah.
And I watched it enough because I think I started it on Friday night, and I wanted to.
Did you already figure it out?
I have a theory, but I could probably say I don't, if I can remember it. I mainly watched it to see if it would be in my top 5, because the Knives Out thing I thought was fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't
fun.
It's fun. It's fine. I didn't think it was like everyone was
jizzing their pants over it,
slobbing their knobs. And I was like,
loving it.
It's okay.
It's all right. Yeah,
and
it's well executed stuff.
Yeah, and I turned it on to see, okay, does this have a shot of being in the top 5? And I think I'm an hour away from finishing it, and it didn't. So and it was getting late. So
and I had to drink a glass of warm milk and hop into bed.
Yeah, it was 8:30. It was way past my bedtime.
It was dark outside.
Yeah,
it was cold.
But I don't know. I couldn't get, not to turn this into the Knives Out thing, but everyone feels like a cartoon character, and they don't feel like real people. Same thing with the Knives Out. It didn't feel like real people. But Daniel Craig, and I get he doesn't want to be Bond anymore, but his foghorn leghorn.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever been to southern United States.
He's from Louisiana? He's supposed to be?
I have multiple times. I've been to Louisiana actually in the past 6 months. They do not talk that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like someone doing a southern accent who's only seen like Gone with the Wind or Foghorn Leghorn and aren't from America. But so I mean, just whatever. So I watched it enough to where not my top 5, and then I went to bed. But I'll probably actually finish that tonight once we get done recording.
Yeah. And the way that is written, one of my nitpicks for that movie, and just that writing style in general, when you're writing a mystery, you could tell that, all right, I want this person to be the person who's
everyone's suspecting,
right? Or this is how I want it to end. I want it to be this person, and then they fill in the blanks. So there's a lot of retconning that happens throughout the story, and a lot of happenstance stuff that it stretches the imagination, like to the really paper thin margins, to where you kind of just had to do that to make it fit what you wanted to fit.
So is everything in the movie because one of my pet peeves about mysteries, and I think we talked a little bit about this. I watched Confess Fletch, and what they did and what I don't like in mysteries is they have a mystery, and then when they wrap it up and they say, oh, this is what actually happened, they pull all this random other information out that wasn't presented in the film at all, and they are assuming that that's okay, to where it's like, well, they were actually having problems with blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you wouldn't pick that up from watching the movie. It's all just this extraneous detail that they neglected to mention. And they're like, oh, okay. Which I feel like it doesn't make it fun for the audience, because part of the, I guess, appeal for a mystery for most people, I would imagine, would be trying to solve it. Do they do that in this movie?
They do a lot of where there's a couple characters that go off doing whatever, and I can't remember Daniel Craig's character, but he notices them doing that. And then they're having a conversation. You don't know what the audience doesn't know what they're talking about. And then at the end, it wraps it all up to where all those points throughout the film where Daniel Craig was noticing something, he didn't know what they were talking about. Then they fill in the blanks with what they were talking about.
Okay.
So it goes from a different perspective to their perspective. You get filled in on their conversation.
Okay. So, but it's not Daniel Craig all of a sudden, oh, I figured it out, and bringing all this detail that no one else would have. A
little bit happens that kind of, but no, not. Got it. So I will say when he does figure it out and he starts explaining stuff, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
I liked it. I like that aspect of it.
Okay.
Because I had that feeling too when you do watch the movie, like something's off about this character in particular. And yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
I actually liked it more than the first one.
Than the first one?
Knives Out, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that didn't make my top 5.
Yeah?
No, sure didn't.
Didn't make mine either.
I'll probably never watch it again.
What?
Yeah, probably won't.
So, all right.
Yep.
Well, let's get down to it. You want to do your number 5 first?
I'll do my number 5,
okay.
yeah. I'll go first.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Reacher.
Wrong.
Season 1.
Where did I have that as?
Oh, it's on your top 5?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have that as number 3.
Wow. High praise. Like I said, 2 through 5 can.
I know. Yeah, I was like, not high praise. It's just.
I think this is. I struggle with this one or Terminal List. I was fighting over which one, because those are my 2 favorite new seasons that I saw this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen Terminal List.
It's very good. I ended up with the Reacher because it surprised me about just how good it was. I thought that the Reacher himself, that actor, I can't remember his name, but in the books he's supposed to be this imposing figure. Yeah, 6'4", 250, just a massive human being. And Tom Cruise, there was a big uproar when they cast him because he's 5'7", $155 soaking wet. But I thought he was well cast. I like the mystery aspect of the story. It was engaging. Every episode I was looking forward to. It never dragged at all. Yeah, throughout the whole season.
I agree, and that a fun mystery.
Yeah,
and it's not one that you're like, trying to figure out, because you're more entertained with the characters than just the situation. Alan Ritchson is the guy who plays Reacher, who played Raphael in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Yes. Wow. So he stretched his range a little bit.
A little bit. That a boy.
He's better in this than he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, he's good. He's a badass too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the scenes where he's beating the shit out of people. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I liked that aspect of the show. It wasn't over the top.
Yeah.
It wasn't superhero shit. Everything that you saw in it was fairly believable. But yeah, just his massive size and the fact that they were able to find someone that big and that. I mean, he's kind of charismatic. He's a good actor.
He is. For this material, absolutely.
Yeah, and
he's not going to win an Oscar.
No.
He's not going to play fucking Lincoln and immerse himself in Abraham Lincoln for 2 years like Daniel Day-Lewis does, but he's very good in this.
Yeah, the other side characters were good. Malcolm Goodwin, who plays Oscar Finley, who is the local. He's not the police chief. He's the detective. That is kind of not. They eventually end up working together, but
they're oil and water.
Yeah, and I like their dynamic. And everyone I feel like just did a very solid performance in the show, and yeah, it was enough to where I'm looking forward to the next season.
Me too, because the mystery itself was pretty good. I didn't figure it out.
No,
I didn't suspect the ending, so that was nice.
And it didn't seem out of the.
No,
it fit. And
it did.
It didn't catch you enough by surprise, like, oh, that's bullshit, kind of a thing. But yeah, it was engaging. It was fun. It felt like a movie that, like, if they would have just crammed it into one movie, it felt like something that would have come out in the 90s, like those 90 like Patriot Games or
Clear and Present Danger and
something like that. Just more adult,
Rising Sun.
Yeah,
all that
adult movies
that
had the mystery and the Fugitive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, and it wasn't over the top. It wasn't.
I liked that it was adult. There was some pretty graphic violence in it, and obviously they cussed throughout the whole thing, so it was nice. It's definitely not for kids.
Yep.
Like you said, I'm looking forward to the second season, and I'm happy that they're based off books, so they have some sort of guideline on.
Yeah, they have good solid source material that they're not. I mean, I don't know how many books there are.
It's like 20-some.
Yeah, so
it's a lot.
Good. We have something to look forward to every year. For the
I don't
next
know what
20
else.
years.
What else is he going to play? Just play Reacher the rest of your life.
Fuck it.
Just do it.
So that's actually my number 3. So
nice.
Yep.
I haven't seen season 3 of Jack Ryan. I'm sure that would. I love that show. Prime is doing something with adult espionage mystery shows. I don't know, but I mean they're hitting it out of the park with Reacher and Terminal List and Jack Ryan. So
yeah, I think they found a good niche.
Yeah,
and The Boys. I mean, that's different kind of graphic novel. Get different kind of novels, but Amazon Prime is definitely doing a good job, like you said, with the adult content.
Yep. Well, what's your number 5 then?
My number 5.
Oh God.
So this is the one that I bent the rules on. I actually initially had this as number 2.
Wow, it went down a couple pegs.
Well, and the only reason is because, one, I mainly discovered it this year, but I'm putting it in here because season 3 was released on Disney Plus in June of this year. So technically I can say, my favorite, but it's Bluey, which is
what is that?
It is
I have no idea what this is.
Australian kids show. So
really?
It's created by Joe Brum, but it's the slice of life adventures of an Australian blue heeler cattle dog puppy as she has fun with her family and friends in everyday situations.
Really?
And so
how old are you?
Yeah. So was it 3 weeks ago? The whole family was sick.
Right.
I was home from work, and
everybody was sick.
Everyone was sick.
Yeah.
And I think Christy had turned this on for the girls to watch, and they're 9-minute episodes.
Okay.
7 to 9 minutes each episode. But there's 3 seasons. Each season has about 52 episodes. And we started with season 1, and then
52?
52. And because I don't know if it's part of a children's show, because I looked at the release dates, and it's every day. So I don't know if it's part of like an overall children's show, like, oh, here's today's Bluey episode. But watched it. It is really good. Like the writing, the characters are really fleshed out. I would say, it's not like all action, and it's not, it'll tug out the heartstrings. It has important lessons and everything. And I probably sound like the biggest moron talking about this, but it is weird how good it is.
Huh.
And like we'd be watching and there'd be like an episode or something happens, and it's just a 9-minute, 7-minute story, and you're watching it, and Christy and I are sitting on a couch, and we both start to like tear up slightly, and we're like, what the fuck is wrong with us? And but the parents are fantastic. They're the most loving parents you've ever seen. The kids are hilarious, and they're creative. I mean, but I mean, nothing's perfect in it, I guess, but as far as like their life. So it's hard to explain, but I thought, again, I was like, I'm too old to be enjoying it this much. Is there something wrong with me?
Oh, that's clear.
Is there? Yeah, obviously. But is this what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I actually Googled. I'm like, is Bluey supposed to be good? And
no.
I searched. And then a bunch of the search results I got was message boards and posts of like, okay, who likes Bluey and what country are you from? And there's people from Germany and all this other, like, once it got released on Disney Plus, there's a lot more. After I came back from being sick, I talked to some people at work that I know have young kids, and there's like an FAT and a factory acceptance test for one of the machines that was shipping out. And went to one of the project managers. I was like, hey, have you ever seen Bluey? And he's like, yes, we are a Bluey household as of a week ago. And then as we were talking about it, somebody like 50 feet away came over. He's like, you guys talking about Bluey? And there was a group of five adult males
talking about Bluey,
gushing over how good Bluey is.
Really?
And then like I had one like showing me, he's like, yeah, my wife did a Bluey birthday party for my oldest, and he's like flipping through pictures and shit like that.
Wow, I've missed the train on this. I'm looking at IMDb. It's number 22 on top rated TV shows of all time.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
In some episodes they focus on some side characters, but the writing of it is really, really good. Quest of the Curry, which came out, or the Curry Quest, is a pretty good one. It actually kind of explains story structure or the hero's journey within the story. But they have great writing. It never goes where you think it's going to go, but it's also, it's very creative, because it kind of plays on the children's imaginations at times and stuff like that. But to be able to churn out as many episodes as they do and to keep it entertaining and everything else. But you go through the overall rating, IMDb rating is 9.6 out of 10. And of course you're going to get some fanboys in there just dumping things. But here's season 3. And I'll just go down the list of episodes, their ratings: 9.0, 9.1, 8.7, 7.7, 8.6, 8.5, 9.1, 8.7. It's, I don't know.
Jeez.
It's nuts. I think your youngest would probably like it.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
You think so?
Liam might like it too.
Okay. If you like it,
put it on and
see if they're attached to it.
Just let it go, and see if they like it. But yeah, my oldest, she's nuts over it. My youngest doesn't like it. She likes Pixar still. So
gotcha. She likes eating everything around her.
Yeah, I know.
That's what she's
too busy stuffing her face.
Well, it's sandwiched in between the Vietnam War and Batman the Animated Series.
As well it should.
As well it should. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them watch that than if I have to watch Transformers one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not, because most kid shows it's either like Daniel Tiger kind of shit, to where I used to like Daniel Tiger. He whines a little too much.
Whiny. He is,
and
that
he can be a bit of a bitch.
A bit of a
a bit of a
bit
bitch.
of a
veg. And Bluey, they still deal with the same stuff. They just do it more on a subtextual level. And
so is it sort of like
they don't stop the story to like
right.
Stop.
See?
All right, this is what you need to do.
This is the point we're making here, children.
And they'll do that. They'll correct their children and be like, hey, you need to give your sister a turn. You need to whatever. But the humor between the adults, they throw in adult humor that like there's some episodes where like, are the parents hungover right now? because they'll be like, "Oh, we need to sleep in. We had a like you could just They don't explicitly say it, but just the subtext is there, and I mean the humor from a parental point of view is really well done too.
It's good enough to keep the adults engaged.
Yeah,
okay.
Because you can relate to it, because then I mean there's episodes to where like the mother will be like, you can see her getting visibly frustrated, and she's like, I need 20 minutes, and she just like walks out the room, and the whole episode is the father trying to keep the kids from getting to the mother, because the mother just needs 20 minutes to take a break. But then it breaks down to where the oldest thinks like, oh, mom wishes she didn't have kids.
Oh.
And so it's kind of like starts settling on some of that more serious aspect of things. Or like, like one of the kids wants to try and be a mom, and she's like, oh, I'm going to learn how to be a mom. And then her mom kind of does like the mother instructor thing, or like, oh, let's see if you can pass. And it's like, oh, you failed. And daughter's like, oh, I failed at being a mom. She's like, yeah, that's okay. We all do. Like some days you make, some days you pass, some days you fail. And so it's kind of, it takes a more real look at a family dynamic, I feel like, than a lot of other kid shows do, to where they either sugarcoat everything or pump the brakes on any kind of semblance of story, and just to get some kind of point across. But this, I think, is fantastic, and probably, I would say, it was number 2 just in children's programming, probably right behind Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Wow.
I mean, it's
pretty good.
It's really good.
So is it like, did you watch Hey Arnold at all when you were?
I did not. So I was past that.
Okay.
So I think the last, Doug.
Okay.
And after, because I think Hey Arnold came out after Doug.
It did, yeah.
And by the time that happened, I think I was out of the children phase cartoon stuff.
Yeah, Hey Arnold had one of those where you followed him around, you got to know the characters in the neighborhood, and you learn lessons along with Arnold. So is it like that? Does Bluey go like around her neighborhood and all that stuff, or is it more centered on the family?
It's mainly centered on the family, but I mean, she interacts with her cousins. I mean, they have recurring characters, they have recurring jokes. There's children at her school and kids that they tend to hang out with, like at birthday parties and stuff like that. So it seems like they have their own social circle. So I guess in that aspect, it is similar to that, to where you don't just meet random character and then never see him again. It's there's a character like Lucky's dad, who I feel always gets like the shitty into this. Like he always just pops up at the wrong fucking time.
Right. Okay.
But Lucky's one of their friends. And they seem to have their own social circle, because when they're at parties, whether it be birthday parties or playgrounds or something like that, they'll sometimes run into them. But it's a big enough city too, to where there's some new things that happen too. But but it feels, I don't know. It feels like, as far as how they handle the relationships and everything else like that, it's pretty good. I recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm probably going to end up watching it then.
And I mean, it's a masterclass. Fucking, I'm a douchebag. It's, if somebody wanted to get inspirations on how to write short stories for film or something like that, this would be a perfect example, to where just looking at all the different simple stories that you could do in such a short amount of time, and the amount of emotional range you can have in such a short amount of time. The music they have in it, great. The animation is it's not simple, but it's not extravagant either. It works for what it's doing. But the music is phenomenal. The acting, the voiceover work is great.
It's Australian, so there's some Aussie accents.
Yeah, and some slang and stuff like that. But I mean, It's great. I'd like to. I know Disney Plus has censored a couple of the episodes, and I had to look it up because I was like, "What the fuck did they censor from this?"
Yeah.
That like one was like a poop joke, like I think it was like a unicorn shitting or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, in Pinocchio, the Robert Zemeckis one, doesn't he look literally at a pile of shit or something? Isn't there like a reference?
Yeah, there is.
I'm like, that's okay, but we can't.
Yeah.
So,
different standards. Yeah, shocking.
I don't know, but it's great. I think it's.
Well, you're just gushing over this thing.
I am.
How is this not number one?
It's because, but no. I mean, yeah, like I said, it was at number 2. I've seen. I mean, I think I've seen most of them at least multiple times, and yeah, just the way. I mean, it's really, really well done. It should not. I kept telling Christy, I was like, a kid show should not be this good.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's way too much, not compassion, but I guess affection for the property or like care being in. Like this is the kind of stuff that gets created when people care about their work,
Right. Okay.
and want to do a good job.
You're just not used to seeing that anymore.
Exactly.
So
and
shock
the fact
you.
that a children's show is doing this, I'm like, it's
All right.
It's,
Nice
it's great.
surprise.
It's great.
Well, that's what I'm gonna watch with the boys tomorrow morning.
Watch it with the boys, and if you don't like it, you have no heart.
That's right. I do. I have ice in my veins.
But yeah, season like the beginning part of season 1, it's catching. I mean, it's like anything else, but once it flows in there, it's pretty good.
Nice. Bluey.
Bluey.
That's Jay's number 1.
Yeah, number 1, but I put it as number 5 because it's been on since like 2018.
Okay.
But I think every year that it's been out, it's been like the number 1 voted children's programming show from of Australia.
Right.
Which, I mean, how many?
There's probably
it
what,
could be
3?
like 1 of 2. Yeah, 1 of 2, 1 of 3. But it's great.
Weren't the Teletubbies Australian? Wasn't that?
Were they?
I think it was
don't
an
know.
Australian program. Yeah.
Well, they upped their game.
They upped their game.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand the Teletubbies. Jeez.
but
So that was your number 5.
that was my number 5.
All right. My number 4 is The Outfit.
What is that?
It is. It's a mystery film, and it stars Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch.
Douche.
Is it douche?
No, I don't know.
Zoe Deutsch. She's the daughter of Howard Deutsch and a girl from Back to the Future.
Oh, Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson.
Leah
Yeah.
Thompson.
That's right.
Leah Thompson.
Well, anyway, The Outfit, if you haven't seen it, it's about he's not a tailor. He's crap, what does he say in the movie? I'm forgetting. Anyway, he makes suits.
Okay.
So he's got a shop in Chicago, makes suits, and it's sort of like the outpost for like the mafia, to where there's like a box at the back of the store where they'll place messages to like give assignments out to the mafia, like, hey, this is where they drop off the message. They go into the store, pick it out. This guy is none the wiser. The guy's running the shop. He's just trying to make suits, not cause any trouble. I think it was like an aspect of him getting a shop in that neighborhood was, okay, we'll let you start your shop here, but just know this is what's going to be happening, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then one night, Zoe Deutsch, excuse me, is dating the son of the head of the mafia. Something goes awry when they're out or whatever, and then shenanigans ensue in the tailor shop. And Mark Rylance is just trying to prevent them from it escalating to where he doesn't want it to go because he knows that violence is going to ensue. And then wrapped around that is a mystery, and it's just awesome. I just wasn't anticipating how good it was going to be. It was very engaging. I'm a big fan of single setting movies, and it's all in the tailor shop.
Nice.
So it just focuses on the writing, the performances, and it's very engaging. It's very good. It's very quick, well paced. Before you know it, the movie's over, and you're just pleasantly surprised about how good it is.
What? Where did you? Was it in theaters or
no? Amazon Prime. So you can watch it on Prime.
Okay.
Graham Moore, who did the Imitation Game. Have you ever seen that with Benedict Cumberbatch?
I've not seen that, but I'm aware.
It's
of
very
it.
good.
Yeah.
So he wrote that, and he wrote this. He's a great writer. So this is I think this is his directorial debut, at least feature film, and you can tell because, like I said, single setting, focuses on the dialogue,
keeps
the
it
script.
simple.
Yeah, not a lot of. Mark Rylance is just awesome. I really like him. I enjoy him. There's twists in it, turns. It's very good. Yeah.
Nice. Do you know? I mean, I guess you already answered that with. The first-time director probably kept his scale small.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I was wondering if it was a COVID movie because of the single setting.
It might have been. That's a good point. They filmed it in 2021.
Oh, okay.
It
So
came
they were
out-
probably out of
Yeah. It wasn't filmed in Chicago. It was on a soundstage.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell. Dylan O'Brien's in it. You know, the kid from The Maze Runner.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Okay.
I'd say if there's a flaw in it, it's him. He's kind of. There's bits and pieces in it where you don't really buy his tough guy act necessarily because the other guy who's in the movie with him that he's arguing with is knocking it out of the park. He's way tougher, and so that chemistry's a little not up to snuff. But other than that, I think it's just awesome. It's really good. You'd like it. I think most people, if you want to kill an hour and 45 minutes and enjoy a good mystery with some good acting,
Okay.
well worth your time. I liked it.
So the outfit on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Very
watching
good.
some shots and cinematography and the color
It looks really
palette. I
good.
think looks really nice.
Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Mark Rylance, he was, he did Bridge of Spies and BFG.
Yep.
A lot of work with Steven Spielberg.
Ready Player One.
Yep. He's really good. He's great in it.
And Don't Look Up. He was in that too.
Yes, he was.
Played the same character as Ready Player One, I feel like.
Yes, he did. It's the same thing. That's what I said when I was watching it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing more to say about it. I mean, it's not gonna change your life or anything.
Yeah.
But it's very
Good.
well done.
Just a solid movie.
Yeah,
It's got a great poster.
it does. Yeah.
So cool. That's your number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4, The Outfit.
The
Watch
Outfit.
it on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
My number 4.
Why is Bluey number 5?
I went back and forth with 15 things. I was going to put Winning Time on there.
Okay.
But then my list was turning into like just a list of TV shows, which says something, I guess.
Yeah.
But I put Elvis.
All right.
Instead of Winning Time, because Winning Time I really enjoyed, but I picked Elvis because Winning Time didn't do anything new for the guy who kind of created Adam. What's its nut? The Don't Look Up guy. Adam.
Oh, Adam McKay.
Adam McKay. It felt like Adam McKay doing the
Adam
Big
McKay
Short
things. Yeah.
like the Big Short, or like just breaking
Vice.
the fourth wall, talking to the camera and explaining what's going on. Like I've seen that before.
Right.
And he's done that before. So it didn't feel new, but Winning Time was still fun, and I'm still I'm looking forward to season 2. I put Elvis on there because your mom wouldn't shut up about it. And
She loves her some Elvis.
She does. And
She would have Elvis's baby in a heartbeat.
so I put that on, and Baz Luhrmann, I didn't watch The Great Gatsby. I enjoyed
Australia?
I did not watch that. I enjoyed was it Moulin Rouge and
Romeo and Juliet?
Romeo and Juliet
It's pretty good.
I liked a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And so I put this on. As far as music biopics go, at least this was different.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the whole, oh, here he is performing at a talent show, and here's the mandatory montage of him playing at these recognizable venues as his fame shoots up, and now he gets into drugs, so that goes down the tubes, and here's his redemption, and then you have a title screen of what happened in his legacy on the blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah,
And then
blah,
you
blah.
have photos of his life. For the end credits and all
shit.
that.
So
Yeah.
it has some of that at the end. Like, I thought it was great up until the end, to where it had, what was it? It just had that, like, what happened to the characters kind of a thing. I'm like, oh, that kind of killed it. I was like, why'd you do that?
He's so close.
I was like, just don't tell anybody. Just let people research that shit on their own. They have the access to that information if they want it.
Especially about Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I put it on there just because it was enjoyable. I thought the guy did a very good impersonation of Elvis.
He was very good. Austin Butler, yeah, he's good.
Notice how I did not say acting of Elvis, because previous episode I am against awards to people that portray people who have been on video, because it's just in person, like Ray.
I see what you're saying.
But anyways, no, I thought he did. Austin Butler did a good job. The musical numbers. I thought the film did a great job portraying the sexuality of his audience and that magnetism that he had. I thought that was very well done, especially like earlier part in the movie, to where the women in the audience were just like, oh my God, like the humidity went up 110% in the room and whatnot.
Getting all verklempt.
Yeah, and that was well done. The acting was good. Tom Hanks in it was fine. I mean,
yeah.
He felt like a cartoon character at times, which was probably part of the point, I'm guessing. But
there isn't a lot of audio of, what's his name, Colonel.
Yeah,
Colonel.
The Colonel.
I want to say Sanders. It can't be Colonel Sanders.
It is Colonel Sanders.
Is it really?
I'm looking it up. No, it's not Colonel Sanders.
Colonel something or other.
But
you're right. He was more. He seemed like, I don't want to say Foghorn Leghorn.
Colonel Parker.
Colonel Parker. Yeah. It's not Foghorn Leghorn. I'm thinking of that because you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
It's something else.
I think because the guy was from Eastern Europe or something
like Denmark
like that.
or Sweden or Norway, Finland, something like that.
But I mean, overall the acting. There's a guy who played, was it
Louis Armstrong?
No, God, was it Little Richard?
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
That guy was good.
He was good,
I mean, he was only in there for like 3 minutes, and
yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's
pretty good.
It was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I guess Austin Butler did a lot of the music performance.
Yep.
Earlier in the part of the movie, and then they kind of moved more of his voice into Elvis's voice, actually from recordings later part of the movie. But I learned something new about Elvis. I didn't know he was much. I mean, he was pretty much more of a puppet his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I thought some of the International, the casino that he performs in later on in life, the way that that's kind of portrayed in the movie is almost feels set up like a prison, and very well done in that. But it's different from other music biopics. If it was the same as Ray or Walk the Line, Great Balls of Fire, like a lot of these, I mean, they're all the same. Yeah. But I mean, it was different enough to where, like, oh, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Again, it's not going to change your life, but it's entertaining.
It is. It's shot completely different. It's unique in the way. It's just Baz Luhrmann, though. He's just extravagant.
Yeah, he is flashy, and it works for this. Doesn't seem out of nowhere. I mean, the flashiest thing I think in there is just the opening title sequence.
Yeah.
To where when it played, I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, I forgot how flashy he was. And I was like, well, it's going to be 2 hours of this. It gets
settles
subdued,
down. Yeah.
But yeah, it settles down a little bit, but it has his flair with it, which is fine.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about Baz Luhrmann in his past couple movies, where he infuses like current hip hop music in with the music of the time. He did that with The Great Gatsby, where I'm watching The Great Gatsby, and then like there's that old timey like waltzy music, like okay, and then Jay-Z starts rapping over the beat, and I'm like, what why? Why are you doing this? The same thing happened with an Elvis. Like all of a sudden, like Cardi B comes on, and I'm like, all right, like, you know, Elvis Presley is Elvis Presley for a reason. I think the music could speak for itself.
Yeah, and at least in Elvis, I would say it didn't bother me because I've seen that, like Quentin Tarantino did that with Django Unchained.
Yeah.
And I was not a fan of that then when he did it there, because he had, was it Ennio Morricone did the score. No, you don't put in fucking pop rap or rap when you have Ennio Morricone scoring your film. Just have him do his job. And so that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
This, I was fine with it, just because I understand the feeling that Baz Luhrmann wanted to have, and I felt like it fit better than when I saw it done in Django Unchained. So it didn't take me out of it as much. But with something like Great Gatsby, I don't know how I would feel about that. But he also did that again with Moulin Rouge too.
He did,
which was mainly the whole movie.
I think that was the whole point of that movie, though.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my, what was that?
Number 4?
Number 4, asterisk.
It was on my honorable mention.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not going to blow your mind.
No.
All right. Well, my number 3 is All Quiet on the Western Front.
I have not seen that.
That is a war movie,
yes,
for all those who haven't read the book. If it wasn't assigned to you in your freshman English class, but those of you who are unaware of it, it takes a perspective of a young German soldier during World War I and his time on the Western Front, and that's pretty much it.
I read the book.
Yes, I've read the book too.
I don't remember it.
And why would you?
It was like 20
It's
fucking
been 25 years. It's been forever. But I know there's a 1930s movie that I think is on the AFI list, Top 100, All Quiet on the Western Front. I've never seen that. I know it's been adapted multiple times since then, but this is the first adaptation I've ever seen of that book. And again, I haven't read it in years, so I forget a lot of it. I just remember that it was from the German soldier's perspective, and that's about it. And that's what I like about this movie, is that it's from the German soldier's perspective during World War I. They're always the villains in all war movies from 1 to 2. So that sets this movie apart from any war movies that come out that are where World War I or II are the subject of the movie. But it's written well. It's adapted well, I should say. Cinematography is amazing. The battle scenes are unbelievable, brutal as fuck. It pulls no punches in terms of brutality. It really puts the viewer in the aspect of like trench warfare better than I like, because I like 1917 that came out a couple years ago, where it was just one long shot, but it's not in the trench warfare aspect for that much of the movie,
because he's running around.
Trying to get a message to somebody. But this one is the first like 45 minutes to an hour. They're in the trenches, and it starts off with they're so excited to go to war. It's their dream to be German heroes, and they do that really well the first 15 minutes where they're in war, the war academy, and they just can't wait to go to war. They're so excited, and they get there, and just the drop of, it's like instantaneous, because right when they get there, like it's bombarded with gunfire and bombs, and all their hopes shrink instantly, and some of them,
it's like a Saving Private Ryan moment to where it's just a wake up call.
Some of them run, some of them just sit down and shake in fear. Some of them shit themselves. I mean, it's great. Like it's so believable. But I mean, it's long. It's 2.5 hours, and it's subtitled. So if you're not a fan of subtitles,
it should be. Don't watch. Here's a PSA: don't watch dubbed shit. Just subtitle it.
I agree.
Because even though you don't want to read, subtitle it. By the time you get done watching it, when you think back on the movie, you won't remember reading it. You'll just remember hearing it with that dialogue. But. Yeah.
It's cool, too. It sets itself apart because they don't talk about the enemy all that much in the movie. You forget that you're even witnessing a story of a German soldier. They don't even talk about why they're fighting anymore, because they forget what they're even fighting for. And the movie's centered around their hopes and aspirations when the war is over, and they're just biding time for it to be done.
Trying to survive long enough to go home.
And you as a viewer don't even know what they're fighting for or what they're fighting over. But man, it is. I love war movies that don't tone down the brutality of war. I like it. I like it when it's realistic, and this spares no expense at all. It's some really crazy battle scenes that I haven't really seen before.
Good.
Really good. I liked it a lot. It's a good war movie. I'm a sucker for a good war movie, Jay.
Good. And that's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's been out for a while now.
Like, how much do you think that movie cost?
It looks great. I would.
Like
It's
100
got to be
million?
100 million at least.
At least 100
At
million.
least, I would say.
Because
I mean, the set design's nuts.
I mean I'm scrolling through. The only actors that I recognize is Daniel Bruhl, who's been in some Marvel stuff, and
He's good in it, but he's only in it for like 20, 25 minutes or so.
well, it's only 100 million. They kind of bring him in for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, all the actors you don't know who they are.
I feel like
you've never heard of them.
How come Netflix doesn't make that shit for us? We get fucking
I don't
the
know.
bubble.
I don't know.
That probably cost 150 million.
They probably did. Yeah, they paid Judd Apatow a shit ton of money for it.
Well,
And
cool.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's definitely on my watch list. I'm not a huge fan of war movies, but I like it when it's done well.
It's
like
done
Band
very
of
well.
Brothers and stuff like that. And
It's been a while since I've seen a good. I like 1917. That was good. I think I like this one more than 1917.
how do you think it ranks next to, I guess, the epitome of the war movie, Saving Private Ryan?
It's not as good as Saving Private Ryan. No.
What makes it? Is it just?
I just like the story. The story's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, this story is just you're following the one German soldier and he's just trying to survive.
Yep.
That's it. There's not an overarching story. It's just there to show you that this war is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was your number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, All Quiet on the Western Front, found on Netflix.
German film.
German film.
So, I'm
Foreign. You're
I'm
artsy.
sophisticated.
Yeah. I see your beret on.
Yeah.
Except that they wear those in France. So
Makes complete sense.
all right. My number 3 was Reacher.
Yes.
So we already talked about that.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ooh. I just missed my list.
Just missed your list.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
It's a very good movie.
And again, it's fine. I mean, it was entertaining. I put it on there again because if you hadn't seen anything with a multiverse or parallel universes or dimensions, stuff like that, then this is kind of like a fun discovery. I put it higher because everyone else was, and I was afraid of what people would think of me if I didn't have it up higher.
Right. It's going to win all the awards.
It'll win Best Screenplay at the Oscars.
I think so, yeah. That would make
but it'll be
sense.
nominated for Best Picture, but it won't win.
You don't think so?
No.
I think people are going to love it. It's going to win.
You just think it'll win Best Picture?
I think it will.
I think it's going to be, I don't know, there's an abortion movie out.
Yeah, there's the She Said about women getting sexually abused.
There's that. That'll win Best Picture because, see, guys, we forgive ourselves.
You're forgiven.
But I put it on here because it was fun. The action choreography was
very good.
Was good. It didn't take itself too seriously, but it did very well presenting some kind of far out there ideas. And
Well, I mean, hot dog fingers. Come on.
yeah, hot dog fingers. I like the Rock universe.
It
It
was
was just sitting there.
yeah, having a conversation.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously. And it's a good time. I didn't put it as number 1 because, because it's not. Gee, but I thought it was good. It was entertaining. I'm sure I will probably watch it again at some point. So.
It's unique enough.
I think first time watching it, I was kind of like, not let down, but I mean, there was so much hype around this movie, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing," and blah 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 blah, and it's I mean, it's good, but it's not the first time I've been aware of parallel universes and stuff. I mean, there's like the one movie with Jet Li and Jason Statham.
You love that movie.
No, it's the first thing that comes to my mind because I was like, they did this like 20 fucking years ago and no one watched that one. Of course, this one is a better movie. Yeah, it's a completely different story. But
did you hear that Short Round got nominated for a Golden Globe? He might get nominated for an Oscar. Daniel, what's his name? Hugh?
His name is Short Round.
Oh, yeah.
Ki-Hu Kwan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that too.
What was his name before?
Short Round?
Jonathan Kwan?
Yeah.
How he went how he was credited before when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But well, that's good. No, I like, and I hope he's in more movies because he did. I think he did a great job. I mean, yeah, all the acting is very well done. It's got a nice message about life and how you spend your life and
family and
lost ambitions and all that nonsense. But it's good.
It's good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like I said, barely missed my list. I mean, I'd watch it again for sure. It's definitely entertaining. It's unique, for sure.
Yeah,
it's better than Doctor Strange and the other stupid multiverse movie we saw.
Yes.
So it's got that going for it.
It does.
So that's nice. All right, number 2. Everything Everywhere All at Once, huh?
Yep. What's your number 2?
My number 2 was my shocker of the year, Barbarian.
That just
a bit outside. Yeah. I'm a big horror fan. It's by far the best horror movie I saw all year. Suspenseful. I appreciated how unique it was. I couldn't believe how funny it was.
That square footage.
I mean, that's funny.
Square footage.
That's some funny shit. That'll get me every time, man. That came out of left field. I was laughing out loud. I thought Justin Long was perfectly cast in that role. Again, single setting. I'm a big fan of it. I mean, it did cut away to Justin Long character, but that's like 10 minutes, and the rest of it's in that house. I like the transitions between the house, and then it goes back into time with the creeper who was in the house, raping women, as one does.
When you
live by yourself.
When you live by yourself in a house,
and you're shopping for fucking baby diapers or
plastic wrap.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's your shovels? Can I get a pickaxe too? Where's your chainsaws at?
Having a baby.
Yeah. Where's your formula? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was just shocked by it. The pacing's great. The screenplay's good. I mean, like a first-time director, Zach Krieger. Never heard of the guy.
He was in, was it The Whitest Kids You Know?
Yeah, he's an actor.
Yeah, I watched it off your recommendation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It felt like I was watching a movie that I would watch in college, meaning there was whoever was making it was trying some different tricks, and they were just like, oh, this might be interesting to, like, there's a shot where it kind of starts off when the main character pulls up and stops, and the camera kind of pushes in, and then I was watching, I was like, it's going to push through the window. And it pushed through the window, and I saw the same After Effects tutorial 12 years ago when they first. So there's like some cliched stuff like that, but the transitions that there was one transition from, I think it was a cup of tea to something else. He was thoughtful in his transitions to different shots or different scenes, and that's what I enjoy. A lot of typical movie editing, they don't want to call attention to it. I kind of like that just because they plan that great. Then that puts more trust into the story, that if they're taking that much care between cutting from one shot to the next, then I feel like, okay, then they took that same amount of care in developing the story and making the rest of the movie. So that kind of, I like that. And it helps me dive deeper into movies like that when that care is very apparent on screen.
Well, for those who haven't seen it, it's essentially about a girl who gets an Airbnb in Detroit because she has a job interview the next day, and there's someone in her Airbnb. And there's a convention in town, so she's not going to be able to find a place to stay that night, so she has to sort of grapple with, should I stay with the guy who's in my Airbnb? Do I trust him? And that's where the movie starts and then it goes off the rails. I don't want to spoil it or anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I wasn't expecting it to go in the direction it did go, which is great. I like that, and it was fun.
Yeah,
Some scary moments, and again, I can't believe how funny it was.
Mm-hmm.
That square footage scene is hilarious.
Yeah,
that's fucking
it's very
brilliant. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. The only and this hopefully, if you haven't seen Barbarian, don't let this deter you. The ending, I did not like.
Didn't like the ending. Okay.
It just felt slightly rushed to where everything was good, and it was just like the last minute and a half. I was just like, really?
Yeah, I would agree with you because I think they were like, all right, here we are. How do we end this?
Yeah, because I mean, it ends at the 90-minute mark.
It does.
Pretty
It's
spot
like
on.
Spot on. Yeah.
Which it's good. I mean, it feels a full story. It doesn't feel too quick, but it's the perfect amount of time. And with movies like that, like what. I mean, I don't have a better ending for it. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's definitely worth a watch, especially if you like horror. If you don't like horror, you're still gonna like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if you're not a fan of horror, you would still like it. It's if you like suspense, you definitely will like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, not a lot of good horror movies came out this past year, so that's probably why it stands out because this is by far the best one, easily.
Yeah. If you like Silence of the Lambs, you'll like this. But not to compare this to Silence.
No, I'm not. No,
but
I would say.
But as far as the suspense, the trust issue, the not necessarily the male gaze theme, but more of just more of the trust issue and being in the situation.
Yep.
That you're in. So
very good.
Yes.
So what was your number 2? You already did that.
Oh, yeah, Everything Everywhere.
That's right.
All at once.
All right, number 1.
Number 1 is...
I have a feeling we both have the same number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Top Gun.
Yeah, it is Top Gun.
And without a doubt.
Yeah.
There's no argument.
That's the number 1 movie of the year.
By far. Financially,
culturally,
screenplay, entertainment,
yeah,
performances,
camera work,
stunts.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Great movie.
Yeah. Cultural impact. I've seen more people growing mustaches over the summer. Like when we were at the lake, I'd see more people trying to look like Rooster from Top Gun.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice this.
Than any other movie character. Like the only other movie character I'd think of that people were trying to be like was it Eddie from Stranger Things?
I thought you were going to say Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. No, Eddie from Stranger Things.
Right.
But
oh, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, I had a guy I work with, like his teenage son, like, because I watched the movie and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then he like showed me a picture, like his son dressed up as like just for his style. Like he got a Hawaiian shirt, a fucking wife beater on underneath, jeans,
really?
And he's trying to grow a mustache. And he's like, what does that look like? And I'm like, a shitty cosplay of fucking
Miles Teller?
Yeah, Miles Teller. And he's like, oh, you're right. Except, yeah. He's like, you said it was somebody from Top Gun. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like, tell him to keep growing the mustache. But
I didn't notice any of this. I didn't notice the rooster phenomenon.
Yeah. Because it was like one time we were at the lake. It was like these group of college-age kids or something. And like one like walked over and I eavesdrop and just stare at people from a distance because I'm a creep. And when I did that, one of the like kids came up and he was growing a mustache. And like one of the girls of the group was like, oh, did you do that because of Top Gun? And I was like, yeah, he did that because of Top Gun.
Gotcha, bitch.
But yeah, I mean, it made the most money.
Yeah,
it
easily,
pulled more
down.
asses in theater seats.
Yeah.
And it gave people a reason to go back to the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's the same movie.
Pretty much.
It's the exact same fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still really well done.
So well done.
It doesn't feel stale. And it brought enough newness to it that warranted its existence. Plus, it was shot like...
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was shot 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And most movies that were shot and then are shelved for 2 years for any reason, typically it doesn't work out well for them.
No. Yeah, they start having second thoughts, and should we reshoot this?
And they start fiddling with it more, and it kind of ends up ruining it. But that movie they did,
I mean, I keep going back to movies that surprised me. I was not expecting it to be this good when I went into the theater. And as I'm watching, I'm just like, I can't believe how good this is right now. And it topped it off with the Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. I've been hearing arguments about, what's better, Top Gun 1 or this one. It's like, come on, guys. Top Gun Maverick is better than Top Gun.
Yeah.
And you're clinging on this nostalgia that you remember seeing it as a kid or whatever, and how you thought Maverick was the coolest, and how that movie was just so amazing. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not better than Top Gun Maverick. You just need to come to grips with that.
Yeah. Everything is better in this. I mean, the aerial fight.
It's amazing.
All the plane sequences. I mean, is
that fucking stunt they did with the jet, like doing like a sidewinder thing, or I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, the air brake or something to where it just kind of
unreal.
Yeah,
I don't know how he gets away with some of the shit he did. Yeah, have you seen did we talk about this already? The Mission Impossible stunt.
Yeah.
You weren't too impressed.
I wasn't impressed. I was like, the fucker's hung out of a plane. He's been flying jets everywhere. But he climbed a building in Dubai. He does all these things. He jumped out of a fish tank in the first Mission Impossible. It's hard.
Hung off a cliff in the second one?
Yeah, did the Jesus hang in Mission Impossible 2.
Showing off his lats?
Yeah. Exploded himself against a car in the third movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, riding a motorcycle off a cliff.
I mean, 60, what? 60?
Yeah, but he's got a parachute. It's not like he landed on the bike.
Yeah. I told you I was waiting for him to slip on the
slip
and fall off the
face plant and just dribble over the edge.
Get knocked unconscious and just fall to his death. Whoopsie.
Meanwhile, the whole crew's like, fuck, there goes our meal ticket.
Hey, he's insured for, $500 million. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll all get paid. But yeah. I mean, what else to say about Top Gun Maverick? We've already discussed it ad nauseum.
Yeah, it's.
I could watch it anytime, any place. I enjoy it a lot. It's one of those movies that you can just kind of. You want to watch Top Gun Maverick? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's throw it on there.
And I didn't watch the past Mission Impossibles. I mean, I've seen 1, 2, and 3. Seen Ghost Protocol. That was the fourth one, right?
Yep.
What was the one after that?
Rogue Nation.
Okay, what was the one after that?
After
was Rogue Nation when he holds his breath in that water tank?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Fallout.
Is that the one with Superman's mustache?
Henry Cavill. Yeah. Superman's mustache.
Yeah,
Well, no, not anymore. He's not Superman anymore.
No, he's not. I don't think I've seen that one.
That's a good one.
That's what I hear. And
it's very good.
But when I mentioned in Bluey, my number 5,
right? That's your number
that
1.
You could tell people care.
Yeah,
this movie had that too.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because of Tom Cruise, which crazy as he is, at least he cares about what he's doing, and he puts everything into what he's currently doing. To where, because of how this was so good, I mean, I think anything that he's in for the next 10 years, I'm just going to go see.
Right.
Just because he's one of those people, he's like a Christopher Nolan, but an actor / producer. To where he's not directing it, but he's probably has his hand.
Oh, yeah,
he's probably
sure.
He's
calling
the most
shots.
Yeah, he has the most power on those movie sets than a lot of people. So, but the fact if he's involved in it and then he has that power, I think that, I think a lot of people will be interested in see what he's doing next.
Absolutely. Well, he says his number one priority is making sure that the audience can try to experience the stunts or the ambiance of the scene itself.
Mm-hmm.
So he does take good, pride and care with making sure he gets that done.
And yeah, and I hope he keeps doing that.
I mean, again, it's a simple story. Like you said, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's very, very well
Oh
executed.
God, yeah. And it doesn't beat you over the head with. I think of like the scene where they're playing football.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, please don't do like another music montage of like just abs and people high fiving. I mean, there's that bit of it, but I like where he just gets off.
Yeah.
And he just watches them and.
So you like the part when he gets off?
Yes.
When he's getting off on the beach with the shirtless guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut that.
It's not beating you over the head. Like, hey, remember that scene?
Yeah.
From the original movie? This is a.
And they explain it. It's like, oh, it's a team building exercise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I like how they didn't.
But you know why they put that? Why they put that in there, but it wasn't like.
It was like a wink.
Yeah, it was a wink. It was like, why are they out there playing football? It's a team building exercise. Yes. I mean, they knew what they were doing, but they played it off to where.
Yeah, it's my butt in the moonwalk.
Yeah, my butt in the moonwalk shot.
Yeah, and the relationship between him and Jennifer Connelly wasn't. Again, they weren't right on the motorcycle and making out like with like the moonlight and all that shit. It was like it played out like a relationship that two 50-year-olds would have.
Yeah,
it was good stuff.
Yep, it's the best movie of the year,
hands down. No question about it, for sure. Well, what were some of your? So here's some of the stuff I haven't seen that maybe could make the list. So The Fabelmans, haven't seen that. Babylon, I've actually heard bad things about Babylon.
That's disappointing.
Apparently, it's just a lot of
random shit,
over excessive, like Hollywood. It's like cocaine, and there's a lot of gratuitous sex in it, and it's like just shocking for the sake of being shocking. Like the story itself is kind of bleh. So I don't know if Damien Chazelle thought that he was hot shit, and he's like, I just want to do a movie about Hollywood and
I would have thought First Man would have cooled his heels on the hot shit portion of it, but
I don't know. But the more I think about that concept, like the frivolity of the 1920s in Hollywood, and I mean, we'll see. It doesn't really sound interesting anymore to me.
Maybe there's a lot of people that said that about Wolf of Wall Street too.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that I'm comparing Damien Chazelle to fucking Martin Scorsese, but
that movie was funny.
Yeah,
funny as hell. Really good.
And it was more. It was over the top to have a
point.
There was a point to that, which there may be a point in Babylon too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I haven't seen season 3 of Jack Ryan. You already mentioned The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I really want to see that. There's this movie called The Stranger on Netflix that my brother keeps recommending to me.
Yeah.
And he hates movies, so the fact that he's recommending a movie is kind of like maybe this is actually good.
Or it's the worst fucking thing
I know
ever.
Could be.
And
could be. It's like Jesus Christ. This is why. This is why he doesn't recommend movies. The Menu, and then the new Pinocchio with Guillermo del Toro's.
Guillermo del Toro.
That's what they say when.
Good, as they should.
Yeah, when he's getting an award. Everyone stares at him like, are you racist? Tone it down a notch.
Roll your R's. Yeah, and then the art house stuff, and which I don't know. It's hard to see that stuff. I only get 2 hours to myself.
Yep.
A week. Most of the time, I dedicate that to sleep.
Yes. So Jay, you're not going to spend time watching No Bears. That's the #1 rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck is that?
This year. No Bears portrays 2 parallel love stories, and both the lovers are troubled by hidden, inevitable obstacles. Jesus Christ, hold on. I can't even get through this.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Invadable obstacles, the force of superstition, and the mechanics of power. Directed by Jafar Panahi. 100%. Critic score.
How many people?
No audience score because 0 audience. No one saw it.
No one saw it.
It says fewer than 50 rating, so it doesn't qualify for an audience score. Yeah. Yeah, and the happening. I don't even know what this is.
Happening. It's a movie. This woman in the 60s gets an abortion or something. A very uplifting thing of the year.
Jesus Christ. Critical consensus on this one. A tough but rewarding watch. Happening puts a personal face on an impossibly difficult choice and its heart-rending aftermath. Can't wait to go watch that.
That sounds fun.
That sounds like fun. Top Gun Maverick.
Fuck Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, man. Jeezy, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch some more stuff, but there's, The Fablemans I want to watch. I feel like, I don't know, I'm a sucker for movies about movies because I like movies. So.
Yeah, I know. Steven Spielberg, I mean, come on. It's got to be all right. It's got to be all right.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of stuff like, I don't know. Cobra Kai was my most fun, I think.
Yeah.
But Top Gun had a different, because I, like Avatar, I was thinking, I was like, well, should I put Avatar on there? Because I'd like it to be things that people should at least watch. Mm-hmm. But Avatar is one of those things you need to watch in theaters. If it's on video, whatever. If you want to, do it. If not, you don't need to.
Watch it on your phone.
Yeah, watch it on your phone like God intended.
You're going to be immersed in it.
But I feel like Top Gun is just way much better than Avatar. Because, it's an animated movie.
Yeah.
And to where the technological achievement, I guess I cannot appreciate the technological achievements that Avatar had done, but I can appreciate the technological achievements for Top Gun Maverick because they took apart an IMAX camera and had it in the lens and a separate body to fit into a plane, so that way they could get shots of the actors into that and the choreography of the flight scenes and everything else, to where you could feel the danger or you could feel the suspense. That was the only time in theaters, or only time watching a movie this year, that I was kind of like, ooh, what's going to happen, kind of a thing, and
felt it a little bit.
Yeah, and
that's the beauty of practical effects, though.
Yeah.
That's why I love practical effects.
Practical effects, I'm a big fan. But I mean, they played that up with the story too, to where I was kind of waiting for somebody to die.
Yeah, I for sure thought Maverick was going to die. Yeah. I thought they were going to do it,
but
then I remember they needed to have that scene in the aircraft carrier at the end. They had to,
yeah,
because it's
that's
you got to mirror.
It's the same movie.
You got to mirror it. That's just the rules, man.
Bullet Train.
It was enjoyable.
I enjoyed that. I didn't put it on there just because some of the shots were just bad. Mm-hmm. Like, it just felt like they didn't have enough money for the effects.
Yeah. You talking about the scene where they're like hanging on the back of the train and
anything with the green screen. I mean, there was some, like, just even toward the end when they're away from the train, it just felt that's a green screen.
Yeah.
That feels weird.
Yeah.
But the characters were fun. It was enjoyable. Mm-hmm. The other things that I had, I mean, it was just a bunch of stuff that I thought was fine. House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Enjoyable. Have it on there.
I mean, the Weird Al, I had Confess Fletch just because it was nice watching a movie that it's just a simple movie.
You just turn your brain off?
A little bit, but I mean, it wasn't slapstick comedy. It was the characters were well done, because it wasn't a Chevy Chase Fletch sequel. It was a Fletch book thing.
They adapted the book,
correct, and so it wasn't kind of slapsticky. It was just there's characters, and they felt like characters, and it wasn't over the top. It wasn't. I mean, it's just a fine movie. But it wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of okay stuff, but there was very few things that was like, oh my god. And the only thing that was shocking and truly, I think, over the top enjoyable was Top Gun.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the Banshees of Inisherin on here. I watched that last week. Very good. I'm a big fan of Martin McDonagh. It got a little slow towards the end, but man, the concept, I love the concept. If you haven't seen it, it's Brandon Gleeson decides he doesn't want to be friends with Colin Farrell anymore, just out of the blue. And Colin Farrell doesn't understand why, and that's what the whole movie's about. Okay. And it's great. Because you can kind of relate to it a little bit. He's, Brandon Gleeson's like, because you're so dull. Like, you spent an hour yesterday talking about your donkey taking a crap on your porch. He's like, what did that do for me? It's great. Yeah. I'm happy that people will still greenlight movies like that. Like, I want to make a movie about a guy who doesn't want to be friends with another guy.
Yeah.
All right, here's $80 million. Go shoot it because it looks great and the sound's awesome. The performances are great. I mean, it's a really good, well done movie. And Martin McDonagh's a really good writer. Some weird, shocking shit that happens in the movie that I wasn't expecting, but that always happens when with his movies. But it just didn't make my list because I like the other 5 more. It was close.
Yeah, I like smaller movies like that aren't great. Like Confess Fletch would be an example of that. It's a very small movie. They're probably not going to make a sequel. I wish they would. Like if it was just direct to video, I guess direct to streaming now. Still have the same actors if they're willing to do it, but yeah, you just pop out another one.
Yeah,
like a year or two later.
Wouldn't be expensive,
like
right?
Yeah, it's not. I can't imagine it'd be that expensive. But I mean, just something to take a break, and it doesn't have to be like a massive comic book movie or some sad bastard art house thing about someone's ass cancer coming back as a child and slapping him in the face or whatever the shit. But
it sounds like a great movie.
It's just fantastic. It just got greenlit. But yeah, just more stuff that doesn't feel rushed. Doesn't.
Yeah, I want more of the $50 to $80 million range movies. There's a lot of thought into it. Where because nowadays movies are either $1 million art house movies, or passion projects, or they're giant franchises that are $250 million to make. It's a damn shame.
Have some care. But we got AI coming, so
they're just gonna start making movies now.
Just churning out buttloads of content.
Just what we need.
Just average computer generated shit.
It's gonna be great.
Fantastic.
It's got to be better than some of the writing for some of the stuff that's coming out, though. To be fair.
Oh no, I think some of the writing that's coming out now
is AI. It's AI.
It's fucking lazy.
Yeah, it's true.
But they're
well. Hopefully, 2023 will be better.
Is there anything that's coming out that you're looking forward to?
Looking forward to. I mean, I'm interested in some stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, Indiana Jones. I just love Raiders, and I love The Last Crusade. I even like Temple of Doom. I'm a big fan of Indiana Jones, and I want them to redeem themselves a lot because I'm not a big fan of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
So I want some redemption, but I don't know. The preview, I see a lot of green screen, a lot of de-aging stuff. I hope it's not retconning shit because they do de-aging with Indy. From some piece of his history that you didn't know about that they explain, or I'm sure there's going to be some time travel into it.
No, I hope not. I hope not.
Well, that's the thing nowadays.
I'm hoping that's just a rumor, and I'm hoping what's actually going to happen with the de-aging thing is they're just telling a parallel story. So there's probably some treasure hunt or some expedition he was on when he was younger that he wasn't able to finish for whatever reason. And I hope he has a chance to complete it at his older age. And I hope what's going on is like whatever mystery or something that happens, but it kind of hops back and forth between Indy present day and Indy in the past.
Okay.
To where you kind of learn about his unresolved issue from the past and how he can resolve it in the future or in the present day. And I hope they're using it for that aspect of it instead of time travel.
Time travel. I hope you're right.
I
hope you're right.
I hope they're using it for that because I feel like that would be a better way to use the de-aging effect than to
than to
do time travel for what the fuck do you need time travel for? You do not. There's no reason for it, unless they wanted some sci-fi element from the 70s because you had Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was the 50s.
Yep.
So you had a lot of 50s B movie alien stuff. So that I get why they went that route. This is gonna take place in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember time travel being a huge story component in the 60s.
Yeah, I don't either.
So I'm hoping that it's just going to be a parallel story, because I was when they thought about recasting Indy, I was hoping they would go that route to where they could kind of tell a story to where he was on an expedition when he was younger and he couldn't complete it. And then he kind of revisits that expedition when he's older, but the past Indy would be the new Indiana Jones actor, and that's how you would introduce him. That way you get a nice send-off for Harrison Ford. He can complete whatever thing he couldn't complete when he was younger, and then you left it open for the new guy. So that's what I was hoping that they would have done with if they were going to recast him. Since they're not recasting him, and this is going to be the last Indiana Jones, quote-unquote, I'm hoping that's what they're doing with this. Probably just because of my biased opinion that I was hoping they were going to do that then, instead of doing some stupid
they get a
time
dial.
Travel shit.
They get a dial
and then Phoebe Waller-Cates goes back in time, and then she's gonna fight the Nazis.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I hope you're right, because I want it to be good. I don't want.
Yeah, I'd like it to be good too.
I want it to be good.
I don't want it to be a setup for the next character.
Yeah, I don't either.
Have it be a good final Indiana Jones movie, and if the character is good enough to warrant a sequel or a spinoff, then worry about it at that point.
Right. Let it be organic.
Yes. Don't force it.
Yeah. We'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Well, so I lied. I'm looking at the releases in 23. There are a couple that are jumping out here. I would go see John Wick Chapter 4.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love that franchise. It's really good. I want to see Oppenheimer. I'm seeing that on IMAX. That's going to be...
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's happening.
Probably going to text me 2 days before.
No.
Like, sorry, can't make it. I got to...
I'm gonna ask my mom.
I got
right now. Mom, what are you doing? July 23rd.
No, she's already watching The Girls. Sorry.
Oh, damn it, shit. What are you gonna do?
You got to book that ahead of time.
Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Dead Reckoning Part 1. Yeah, I'll look forward to that one. Ooh, look at this, Jay. So we got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, July 14th. Oppenheimer, July 21st. Back-to-back weeks.
It's going to be an expensive.
Yeah. And then Dune Part 2. Months. I'm looking forward to that. I am going to go see that in IMAX.
I have still yet to see that.
It's
the
great.
First one.
That was my favorite movie of 2021, Dune. That movie's awesome. Very good. But I'm not looking forward to Barbie. I could give a shit about that movie. The Marvels. I don't care about any of these Marvel movies that are coming out. We got the Ant-Man. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. No, not seeing that. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse. That's the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. I might go see that. I really like Into the Spider-Verse. It's very good. Little Mermaid remake. I'm not gonna see that. Fast X. I mean, no. Could care less. Super Mario Brothers movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a lot of stuff jumping out here. Scream 6. Oh boy. What are we doing here? So the only original release, one of the only original ones, I mean, Creed 3, that isn't like a sequel, is 65. It's that new Adam Driver movie where he lands back 65 million years ago.
He's just fighting shit with sticks.
He's fighting dinosaurs. So we'll see.
So I would say, yeah, John Wick, Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Oh, let's go see it together.
No. Creed 3. I'd probably be interested. I didn't see the second one. I enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
I didn't see the second Creed. I think I started watching it, and then I think one of my girls was trying to kill themselves or something. But yeah, I enjoyed the first Shazam, but I don't.
Not gonna go see this one in theater.
I'm not gonna see this. John Wick.
Well, they're pulling the plug on the universe. James Gunn is so. I mean, they're coming out with Shazam, the new Aquaman, and then the Flash, and then reset.
Yep,
start it all over,
which is good.
I agree.
Very
good decision.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons because I have sex with women.
But if they made a Magic the Gathering,
but if someone would invite me to play, then I would play.
Right.
I would immediately stop having sex with women and
right.
just play.
Go play Dungeons and Dragons where all the women go.
But I'm kind of interested to see that. Just see
something different.
Something different. Obviously it's based on whatever the hell.
I don't know anything about Dungeons. Nothing.
That's why I have no preconceived notions or anything. So I figure that could either be really fun or it could just be a And
true.
Super Mario Brothers movie. I'll probably wait till it
comes out on Peacock or something.
Yeah, something that I can watch. The Little Mermaid. Probably have to see that at some point. Christy's a huge fan of Little Mermaid, so. But I think Indiana Jones. I think that's.
I'll go see it.
I think Oppenheimer. Barbie, I have a feeling is probably going to be really good.
I know it's going to be one of those shockers. I already know it.
I have a feeling like it's going to be like the Lego Movie or something that is better than what it should have been. Yeah, kind of a thing.
Well, Greta Gerwig directs it, and then she wrote the screenplay with Noah Baumbach, which is her husband, and he did like The Marriage Story and Greenberg, all these like indie.
Yeah, he's Wes Anderson
dramas.
Light.
Exactly.
Because I think he used to work with Wes Anderson a little bit.
That's a good way to describe him.
But yeah, so I think it's not going to be crap. I don't know what it'll be, but yeah, I would say Oppenheimer is probably the thing and they're making another Hunger Games?
It's a prequel.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't care.
But yeah, so I would say Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That's probably the one. Oppenheimer, John Wick 4, Indiana Jones.
Dude, watch Dune.
Dune.
Yeah, it's very good. So Kraven the Hunter, do you remember him? Spider-Man villain?
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's playing him. It's coming out in October. Hopefully he's the next Bond, by the way. I'm a big fan of him becoming the next Bond.
Yeah, I would not be against him being the next Bond. Yeah, Kraven the Hunter. I don't know. I'd never watched any of the. I hadn't seen Venom. I hadn't seen Morbius.
You didn't watch Morbius?
Morbin time. Yeah, so I didn't.
Yeah. And then David Gordon Green, who is coming off a stellar Halloween trio.
Yeah.
Is directing the remake of The Exorcist.
Shut the fuck up.
It's coming out in October. Oh, man.
That'll be dog shit.
The Exorcist is the follow-up to the original and will reportedly unfold as the first of a trilogy with Ellen Burstyn set to reprise her starring turn. Or at least they got Ellen Bernstein in it.
They already did a follow-up movie. It was called Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen, and it actually had the same chick in it that played Reagan in the original one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Linda Blair?
Yeah, Linda Blair.
No shit.
She's a mother now, and she gets repossessed. She has 2 kids, and one of my favorite scenes is, I wish I had a clip too. It was Leslie Nielsen walks out the bedroom door, and he's talking to 2 daughters, Linda Blair's 2 kids, and then her husband, and he's like, "Well, it's as I expected." I'm like, "What?" He's like, your wife has been," and then there's like a pause, "repossessed," and dun 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 with the music, and then you hear the 2 kids argue, like, "I told you, blah blah blah," and then you hear just the kids say offhandedly, "I still think it's PMS," and this is after she's already fully green and like levitating off the bed and shit. But,
I remember the video cover for that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
No. They're doing Wonka. Timothy Chalamet is playing Willy Wonka.
Why?
It's a good question.
Why
I
not?
don't. It's just old IP, Jay. Just revamping existing IP. And then there's an untitled Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel coming out in December.
Fun stuff. Well, looks like
2023 is off to a hot start.
The fuck's coming out in 2024.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Yeah.
be a long year.
So much originality spread around everywhere.
Yeah, well.
You never know. There's going to be some surprises in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be something good.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, I'm going to recap.
yes, you recap.
So, my number 5 was Reacher.
Yep.
TV series. Number 4 was The Outfit. Number 3, All Quiet on the Western Front. 2, Barbarian. And number 1, Top Gun Maverick.
Sorry, I'm writing this shit down so when I edit the actual episode, I know what
Sure.
things to tag in. So just bear with me, audience. Hold on 1 second. All quiet.
Bear with Jay while he gets his shit together.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. My number 5 and possibly it's
Possibly number 1.
it's the real number 1. Bluey. Number 4, Elvis. Number 3, Reacher. Number 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 1, Top Gun Maverick. So,
Good stuff.
Join us next time.
Yes, please. 2023.
As we talk about a 2022 movie. 2 2022 movies.
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio and Guillermo del Toro's.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
That was a long one.
So we'll be talking about the Pinocchios.
I thought you were trying to say Pinocchio in a Spanish accent. Pinocchio.
Pinocchi.
Pinocchi. Like Noki, right?
Pinocchi.
Yep.
We'll be talking about the Pinocchi movies.
Yep.
And we'll be comparing them.
Comparing the two.
Comparing the two, which I'm sure it'll turn into one was shit, and let's really dive deep into this one that was
actually very good.
Yes. So you will get 4 minutes of Del Toro's and a sweet, sweet runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes of us dissecting Zemeckis' masterpiece.
It's going to be great.
Of my number 1 director.
Yes.
He keeps putting out this shit.
I'm
going to have to redo
stuff.
my top 5.
You are.
But he still did Back to the Future.
He did, didn't he? When are we going to do one of those?
Contact.
Let's talk about the Back to the Future trilogy.
To the Future?
Yeah.
We could do that. Oh, well, we'll fill it in 2023. We'll talk about that trilogy.
There we go. How movies are supposed to be made?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll just do a retro, turn into a retro podcast. Just talk about movies.
Because we can't find any good ones.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this one, recommend it. Where can you find it? You can't because
join us as we talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze,
and why every kid wanted to be Keno.
Yes, yeah.
So awesome. Well, that's next week. The Pinocchios, Pinocchios.
There you go. Had a stroke?
A little bit.
Yep.
But that'll be next time. As always, comment on our episodes, write to our email, visit our website, castwithnoname.com, see other episodes there. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed 2022.
Drive safe.
Drive safe.
Till next time, Jay.
Till next time, Matt.